Welcome back to another video installment for ECIO. This is on using ECIO to track contracts and any related services. The value proposition is that ECIO is a low-cost option, under $45, for procurement, contracting authorities, legal, financials, which allows the tracking of contracts, including related services. It also links to your action items for future follow-up, and if any projects or deliverables can affect those contracts. As ECIO already possesses much of the information already, it allows you to link any of the pre-existing projects, departments, organizations, or resources to those contracts. You never lose sight of some of the background of the information already collected. So we'll start here. We'll go into our standard search. I think most of you are familiar with this one. We'll go in contracts. We're just going to do a straight search for all our contracts. So these are a listing of some of the contracts that we've got in place. There's several of them. You can do a sub search, or you could kind of revamp some of these already. So we're going to bring up our warehouse management contract. It's a baseline contract. And this is the information. I will just kill this screen. This is the information that we're collecting on some of our contracts, review dates, start dates, applicable years, costs, etc. on it. There's some narratives that you want to collect on it. If there's anything on that side, you can do that. So here's the profile information. And who the requester was, who their service provider is, etc. Financials, break, invoices, linked. Okay, now we'll get back to starting this. So as you know, this is a standard format, so we'll bring up our some of our information that we know we can track on our contracts. If we knew a contract, we'll just backtrack a bit. We know there's several contracts out there. We did a search on them, but as always, you can find out if there's subcontracts associated with some of these. So we can always look at those contracts and kind of put those into place. For information we're collecting, so this is some of the information collecting. There's a couple of things that we're going to be adding a little bit later on, but what we can do is show you if there's any particular action items associated with a contract, so you can do the follow-up on it. If it was affected by a project, if there's a series of them from different projects or different deliverables, who the owners are, you can actually click on this and then go into that action item and find out a little bit more detail on it. So you can kind of keep track of it. Each of those, as you know, the deliverables can be, several of these deliverables may be out there and people looking at them from different perspectives, from different organizations, etc. So you can track those ones, and then if they affect a particular contract, you can do that. The other item that we can kind of do here is look at the services that's related to these contracts. So we'll show you a little bit on that. Services, the financials, you can look at the financials as well, and any other resources associated with this one, organizations. So we'll bring up the services. So these are some of the services that we have associated with this particular contract: help desk support, and we'll go into these ones a little bit more in detail. And so let us. So if we click on, if we want to see what the details for the relationship. So this is the relationship between the services. You can have several services belonging to different contracts, and you can manage those, and you can pick them up from from the application. You can tie in your services, what are applicable. This is tied to this contract and this service, but this service could have belonged to several different types of contracts or different types of allocations, so you can track that. If we want to go into the, we're going to go and look at the help desk support service. So if we just bring up, kill this screen, We'll bring up the service. So this is some of the service information that we're collecting on some of the tombstone data that we're collecting on each of the services. Some of the narratives that you can kind of go through. You can produce your service report, support, allocations, dollars, etc. on that. If there's an attachment, you can do that if need be. But here's some of the information that you can kind of go through it in that. If you bring up, if you want to go and say, okay, I want to bring up my, and we'll kill this. Here's my relationships. So these are all some of the relationships that you can do with the services. So it can be tied to several applications, assets, other contracts. If there's goals, KPIs, other organizations, there's the related services, and then here's some of the other areas, work instructions, some of the things that will be coming up shortly out of our next following releases on this. So now we'll bring up, so now we'll look at a couple of interesting reports. We'll do a service listing. We're going to show you the service profile. Will list out the details that I just showed you, but just to give you an idea about some of the services that are listed in a sample backend. These are some of the services that we have on file. Triage, what the business function. So you have organizations, you have functions within those organizations. So those services, how they relate to those functions, who the provider is, if there's a role tied to this. So these are some of the services that we have currently on file. And I'll bring up, so just to give you a little bit of an idea of it, and they go into a little bit more explanation, what can be provided and the like within this one. The other one that I think might be of interest here is the service catalog. Just to give you, there's other videos on this one that go into a little bit about how you track usage, etc. But we're just tying this into contracts. I'm going to leave this in default to all corporations. So these are some of the services that we got on file but haven't assigned to it. If you have services being offered by both internal and external providers, ECIO will track all that for you. So in the case here, we have EMC. They provide a contract center, the help desk support that you may want to do. So you can collect these services on behalf of everybody and then provide those out to your end user client. So for example here for Burlington, we had an organization for project management and coordination, and here's some of the services that were being offered on that side of it. If there's application services, technical services, continuity of operations, our asset management, what we need to do on that one, our global service center, what would be done on that side of it, our data, our SMAC, or I think the control, the main data center operations, ECIO. We even got a few things in there for subscribers, who the provider is on this side of it, what we're supplying them. And then there's a few other organizations that we have in here that, just to give you an example, that we've set up: Technical Servers, Copy Center, Macmillan, Cushman Wakefield. So that gives you a little bit of an idea about what, tracking contracts, action items. You can go into a lot more detail in terms of even actually tracking contract clauses, in terms of the action items. There's another video on deliverables and how you can do that. So you can track the verbiage on those ones, what needs to be done, where you would like to go within it, and then tie those back to the contracts. And then you can tie those into your services on what you either want to offer or what you're requesting from those. So I hope this was of some benefit. Hopefully it gets you a little bit looking at the product and seeing if it's going to be suitable for your needs. As always, if you have any questions, please send us an email at support@eciosolutions.com, or you can visit our site, pick up the front end and some examples of some of the back ends like within it. And thank you very much.